Digestion, a process that only animals can run within their own bodies to break down food and make it usable for themselves. It occurs in 4 steps: ingestion, or the taking in of food to the digestive tract, then mechanical and chemical digestion, that is the breaking of food down into smaller chunks, and then the chemical breakdown of bonds between molecules within the food. Third is the movement of those broken down molecules into the actual body by a process known as absorption, and the elimination of products that are not absorbed from the digestive tract. These steps have become more nuanced and complex over time as animals have evolved to become more effective digesters. Porphyrians, such as sponges, have the most simplistic digestive tract in the animal kingdom. Small cells on the sponge's interior, shaped like this, have long flagella which beat over and over again, generating a current that pushes the water from the outside to the inside of the sponge and then up through the top. And then along the edges of those cells are these collar-like structures that trap small microorganisms that are drifting by on this current. The beauty of this digestive tract lies in its simplicity. Because it is just made of single cells doing the work rather than an entire system, if this sponge were to break apart, the parts that break off could become their own sponges with a fully functional digestive tract still. Furthermore, it doesn't take a lot of energy to build tracts just out of one single specialized cell after the same specialized cell. But there's a disadvantage. If a food item is this big, then yes, it can get trapped inside the collar of its cells. However, if a larger multicellular animal such as this copepod were to swim by, I'll give it some good front legs there. Okay, if this guy were to swim by, then he wouldn't be able to be caught. So there's a limit to what sponges can handle in terms of food. And this is what makes the cnidarian digestive tract so special. So a commonly studied cnidarian is this hydra. Right here you can see here's most of its body, and then it's got these little tentacles hanging out. It's very related to anemones and jellyfish and coral. All of them have stinging cells on their tentacles, and then they'll grab food and stuff it down into their mouth after they sting it. So here you can see a bit of prey that has already been grabbed by one of these tentacles and stuffed down through this opening, and here it is in this sac. Then inside the sac, which is called a gastrovascular cavity, the walls of the cavity, as you can see blown up right here, those cells can release digestive enzymes onto the food, and the food can get broken down inside the gastrovascular cavity and then absorbed into the walls where it can actually be used. This provides a new advantage. A cnidarian can eat much larger organisms than a sponge can. But this system is not perfect, most notably because the mouth, which is up here at the top, also functions as an anus. So a disadvantage of having a gastrovascular cavity is that there can be traffic at the mouth-anus entrance. Organisms can't ingest at one time and then be digesting and eliminating at one end while ingesting more food at the other. It's all happening in one spot, which can be problematic. It wasn't until phylum Nematoda evolved that the complete digestive tract appeared. These roundworms have a mouth at one end, and then a complete digestive tract running all the way through the middle and an anus at the other. The whole long tube is sometimes called an alimentary canal. The obvious advantage here is that the food can move in one direction, rather than having traffic at a mouth-anus structure like in the cnidarians. There is a trade-off, however. Building a complete alimentary canal like this requires more energy than building a gastrovascular cavity, and quite a bit more energy than just using cellular structures the way a porphyrin does. And it's even more energetically expensive to generate complete digestive tracts with specialized organs like our own. Our phylum Chordata not only has a complete alimentary canal, but along its length there are many specialized organs that serve to accomplish each of the digestive steps, the ingestion, and then the mechanical and chemical digestion, then the absorption, and then the elimination. So this sequential approach allows our digestive systems to take on very complex, large foods. On the other hand, it does take a ton of energy. So while our digestive tract is indeed very complex and very elegant and can digest some exceptional foods, it's not to say that it is more evolutionarily successful than that very simple digestive tract of the cnidarian with the mouth anus, or even less complex, that of the peripheran. These two lineages have been around for over 1 billion years, whereas their digestive tracts have existed for over 400 million and 500 million years, respectively, whereas ours is only at most 50,000 years old, which is peanuts in comparison. So only time will tell if our very energetically expensive, but also very elegant digestive tract is really worth its weight, evolutionarily speaking.